Welcome back to Speak. After 9 weeks, we are at the halfway point of the NFL season. So it's time for our halfway awards. We're going to start with the best play. For me, it has to be Saquon's reverse paddle. The most athletic play that any of us have ever seen in the history of the NFL, and I don't think we're exaggerating here. The anticipation, the stop, the start, the spin, the backwards hurdle, incredible body control, and then held on to the ball, of course, which is the most important part. That is my halfway best play.
And my halfway best play is Jaden Daniels' Hail Mary to Noah Brown that gets the Chicago I ain't paying attention Bears. So when you think about it, Jaden gets out of the pocket. He scrambles from his right to his left. He then buys times. He steps up so the receivers can get downfield, and he rocket launches that thing straight in the air up to the lights, come down, dum-dum, bats it in the air, and Noah Brown catches it. Best play by far in this halfway point of the NFL season.
Well, I think my audience obviously knows that Key called me this morning and said, P, what do you think the best player of the year was? I said, I think it was Jaden Daniels. So then we get here and he got Jaden Daniels. I also had Jaden Daniels for best play. So, I mean, obviously we're going to play it again. This is my halfway best play. Key took mine. And because I went last on this, he got a chance.
It's okay. You guys disagree.
I thought we was. I literally thought we were done with the lies for the year, but I guess not.
No. There's still time. There's still time for more lies. We know that. Moving on to the halfway MVP, I have got Patrick Mahomes. Well, because they're undefeated and he is the best player in the league. Everyone on their schedule is, in fact, an NFL team that they beat, and they have not lost yet. Just want to point that out.
I'm mad at that.
Patrick Mahomes is the MVP. I mean, right now, halfway through the season.
And he should be halfway through the season, the MVP. I have nothing wrong with that. But the best player in the National Football League, to me, is Lamar Jackson.
Here we go.
He's the best player in the National Football League. Period. He can run, he can throw, even if he needs to throw a block, he can do that as well. Right. Like, come on now, Joy. I get Patrick Mahomes. I understand the love fest. I love him too. But right now, it's all about Lamar. All about Lamar.
Okay. Paul?
Obviously, Key got this answer from me, too. I went with Lamar with the halfway awards.
There's no wrong or right answer.
But it's obvious, you know what? It has to be Lamar at this point, the way he's dominating, the way he's electrifying the crowd, the way he's just smooth delivery into the end zone. And then when he gets tired, he just hands the ball off to Derrick Henry. Listen, this is poetry in motion. Lamar Jackson right now.
All right, moving on to the halfway coach. The halfway coach of the year. It's Dan Quinn for me. He's got a rookie playing like a seasoned pro. He has turned that organization around. They were one of the most dysfunctional organizations in sports. He's settled them down. They have a culture, they have a style, they have an identity. He's brought in an amazing coaching staff. He is killing it right now. Shout out to Dan Quinn, my halfway coach of the year.
Yeah, because I don't want to steal Joy's coach of the year.
We don't have to see. You can have the same answer.
Well, that's what Paul said. He says I'm stealing, so I just want to make sure that.
Okay. All right, but you would say Dan Quinn if you didn't want to steal mine. Is what you're saying?
No, I just threw that out there. I'm saying Sean Payton.
So far, all of my questions, all of mine have been right.
I'm going with Sean Payton and Denver Broncos. They 5-4.
I like that answer.
Rookie quarterback, and Bo Nix. Everybody was wondering what Denver Broncos would be like, but you got to look at their roster. They don't have a whole lot they're working with. And they still got one of the top defenses in the National Football League. I believe at the back end of the playoffs, you'll see the Denver Broncos on that 6-7 slot when the season's over.
All right. I can't even fathom what you guys are even talking about. This guy has been disrespected. He's never started 8-0, and he's won 3 Super Bowls. It's Andy Reid. What? He hasn't lost a game.
Yeah.
You know what he has lost? He's lost his starting running back. He's lost his starting #1 receiver. That's what he's lost. But you know what? He hasn't lost a game this year. Despite this man's credentials, despite this man's Super Bowls with him and Mahomes, they've never started 8-0. It's got to be Andy Reid.
I don't hate that answer. Moving on to the halfway surprise team, because they still have some time to unsurprise us. But I'm going to go with Paul Pierce's Cardinals.
I remember talking about them at the beginning of the year, Joy.
You were talking about them.
They do this every year.
I mean, I was going to see if they maintain it.
They do this every year.
Halfway awards. This is not the full season awards,
Right.
the halfway awards, and right now, they are at the top of that division. And they're winning games.
Give them some love.
They're being a little sneaky here. So we're going to get a little respect for the halfway awards. I'm going to go to the Arizona Cardinals.
You got to think halfway surprise is the Washington Commanders.
Mm-hmm.
When you looked at them picking number 2 and picking up Jaden Daniels and getting people in free agency and bringing over Dan Quinn and Cliff Kingsbury, Anthony Lynn, the biggest thing was, okay, they can probably compete, win 5 or 6. He's going to learn how to play. No, they fighting for the number 1 seed in the NFC come playoff time. This is where they're at right now, fighting for the number 1 seed. Nobody out there can say that they thought that this would be the Houston Texans of 2024. No, no one thought that.
All right, for me, it has to be the Denver Broncos. I mean, they got a rookie quarterback. They're in playoff contention. They got some big wins this year, and they got a tough defense, man. I did not see this coming from the Denver Broncos, and it's been shocking. Shocker.
Shocking. Shocker.
That's our halfway surprise team.
Yes.
Let's move on to the halfway disappointing team. It's the Cowboys for me. Now, we knew the Cowboys weren't going to be as good as they were the past 3 years, but wow. Now, it's not going to be Keyshawn's team for sure, because he said they were going to be 2-4 and then moved it to 3-5. So he is not surprised at all or disappointed. This is what he expected. I, however, expected the Cowboys to be a little bit better than they have been, how they have played. The defense is falling apart. They've got injuries everywhere. I'm disappointed in how the Cowboys have been this year. Keyshawn?
The Cincinnati Bundles. The Bengals, the Bengals, the Bengals.
This is very award show music.
No, but it's
the
Cincinnati.
Bengals, Bungles.
Yeah, it's the Cincinnati Bengals. When you look at this football team, such high hopes. You got great receivers coming back, but they didn't want to pay them. Now T. Higgins is sitting out with injuries. They moved on from Joe Mixon. They bring in Zach Moss. Now he's all of a sudden banged up and injured. They started off on a slow start. They always start out slow. They're going to go to the Super Bowl. But then now, Joey, look at the situation in Cincinnati. They play.
Is that supposed to be me? Is that supposed to be my voice?
Well, it's kind of. Look at it, Paul. They're getting ready to play the Baltimore Ravens and go home with another L. Okay. It's the biggest disappointment ever.
They have been disappointed.
Disappointing.
Key, if that's the biggest disappointment ever, I don't know what to call this, because in my eyes, it's the New York Jets. They had Super Bowl aspirations coming into the season. You had Aaron Rodgers, A.J. Brown. They thought this combination was going to be one of the best combinations. They said, oh, we won 8-9 games last year. We can get Aaron Rodgers. That might add a couple more games, bump us to 10-11 games. Well, I'm sorry to let y'all know they 2-7, and it looks like they're going to be making vacation plans maybe this weekend. Oh, no, you know what? No, they did win. They won 3 games. They did win 3 games. But
they're still wildly disappointed.
Yeah, but they're wildly disappointed. This is a team that we said, hey, Super Bowl or bust. Well, it's looking like a bust.
I did not say that, which is why they're
I said it's Super Bowl bust, because you don't pay Aaron Rodgers and make all those trades and do everything they did in the offseason to just go to the playoffs.
Right.
That's not what they got Aaron Rodgers for.
They'll be lucky if they go to the playoffs.
They ain't going to the playoffs.
Unfortunately, they haven't been to the playoffs since
2010.
2010, the last time the Celtics lost to the Lakers that year. I know you like to hear that.
No, I don't need to hear nothing. I know exactly what happened.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.